You are listening to Ontario Today. I'm Rita Shelley. Well, we exercise our bodies, or at least we think about it a lot of the time. We know that doing puzzles or playing cards is good for our minds, but Sharon Todd is throwing a whole new idea into the mix. It's something called the brain gym. She uses these physical exercises with her family, and the Toronto area mom is so impressed by the results, she has organized a conference to teach other people about it. The Dynamic Brain Workshop is going to take place this Thursday in Newmarket, and Sharon Todd is joining us on the line from her home. Welcome to Ontario Today.
Thank you very much.
Can we just start with what exactly is Brain Gym?
Sure. Brain Gym is a series of 26 fun, simple, and effective movements, and what they do is they create healthy and balanced new neurological pathways in the brain. So what the result of that is improved attention, focused organization, self-esteem, communication, and behavioral, resulting in new levels of achievement and success.
Okay, now you've made quite a promotion there. Well, what is it? I can't visualize it in my head. When you say simple movements, can you describe some for me?
Yeah, no, for example, one would be something like a cross crawl, where you would be standing up, and what you would be doing is lifting your knee and then pulling your opposite elbow down to your, lifting your left leg up and then pulling your right arm elbow down to your knee, and then you're actually just going across to each side. And you do that in a slow movement. The deeper the movement, the more effective, and what you're doing is creating those pathways between the left and right hemisphere so that you're having that whole brain experience instead of just one-sidedness, which usually our body will fall to the dominant side of our brain.
So that this physical movement somehow makes my brain feel fresher?
Well, what happens is we really only use about 10% of our brain at any one time, and we're actually all capable of a higher thought process. And what Brain Gym does is it takes you from your primal brain or your reptilian brain, which is in the back of our head, which frequently we go to when we're feeling stressed out, which, you know, who doesn't feel stress in today's world? By doing the movements, what's happening is we're able to make those new connections between the left and right hemisphere, so basically pulling us up from our primal brain to our midbrain and then to our frontal lobe. That way we're having a whole brain experience when we're communicating, you know, when we're making decisions, when we're doing tasks that are brand new, that require new learning.
So you're talking like down the road, like later in the day if I'm trying something else, the fact that I would have done these exercises will have me approach these things differently.
Definitely.
What other examples do you have of some of these movements?
Another example would be something like the calf pump, which calf pump is like it's a movement to re-educate the process for restoring the natural length of the tendons in the feet and in the lower leg. And at times of perceived danger, these tendons shorten to prepare for the act of running. So, you know, back in the caveman days when we were in those ready stance, say there was a big dinosaur coming to chase us, that's when our tendons would actually tighten up and we'd be in that ready stance. So we're able to actually pull ourselves out of that stress mode by stretching those calf muscles. So you're just basically, you know, getting something to put your hands on, and then putting one leg in front, one behind, and bending your leg in front so that your knee is over your foot, and then you're just pumping your heel so it hits flat on the ground and then goes up again, and flat on the ground and then goes up again. This actually improves things like social behavior, prolonged attention span, and enhances the ability to communicate and respond.
Now tell me a little bit about how you first heard of this.
I'm just trying to remember. I was trying to do some research. I'm always looking for sort of new tools in my toolbox.
I use with your son.
Not actually. Initially, it was for myself. I have ADD, and so I'm always looking for coping mechanisms for myself. And I had heard about Brain Gym and thought, okay, well, I'm going to take the course and see what it's all about. And so I took the first course about a year and 2 months ago, and I just loved it because I always found that when I took medication for ADD, it was almost like I felt I had a mask on all the time, and although I was more focused and able to concentrate, it was it just didn't feel like I was myself or that I was as grounded as I wanted to be. So I started to try and do the movements myself and did them on a regular basis just to sort of put it to the test after I took the course. And I couldn't believe how instantaneous it was that I could just, oh gosh, I have to do some accounting now. And I hate accounting, so I would do the movements that were specific to math-type functions, and then I would go forward and start doing that task. And it made me feel very grounded, and I could concentrate, and I could focus, and I wasn't taking this this attitude or perception that I can't do this, this is too hard, it's not going to work for me, when I was walking into new learning opportunities.
Oh.
So because it worked so well for me, I thought, okay, now it's time to experiment on my son. So what we did with my son is one of the challenges with my son and with a lot of children with autism is transitioning. So, for example, in the morning he goes to school. So things that have to happen in the morning that require transition would be getting dressed, brushing our teeth, eating our breakfast, doing our hair, getting our snow clothes on. Thank God that's over with now. Those sorts of things. Well, each one of those transitions would cause a major temper tantrum and a major wrestling match, and basically the strongest person, who's me right now, would win. But you don't want to do that. So what we started to do as a family, myself, my husband, and my 2 children, is we do 5 minutes of brain gym when we first get up in the morning. And, what we just did was actually the pace exercises, which is the beginning of brain gym, and drink a little water. And then we would start to initiate those transitional tasks. And what we noticed almost instantaneously is the wrestling matches stopped, the defiance stopped, the tantrums stopped. For the first week, it was like, you go, come on, Kirk, come on, son, let's go and, brush your teeth. And he would go, no. And then I'd go, oh, come on, come and help Mommy out. And then he'd go, okay. So that, and compared to a temper tantrum, is huge.
Yeah.
If you could imagine having 6 temper tantrums before you even get your child out the door, that's really stressful. Every day.
So how long have you and your family been doing this together?
I would say probably about, it's been 6 months now. I've been doing it on my own for about a year and 2 months, but my family's been about 6 months now.
So, in one way, it does sound like this almost unbelievable, right? You're suddenly doing your own accounting. Your child, no more tantrums in the morning?
No more.
What's the history of this brain gym? Who actually invented it?
Well, the founder is Dr. Paul Dennison, and he's a professional educator. He pioneered the applied brain research, and he's a world authority on cognitive skills and reading achievement. So he received his doctorate in education for his research on reading and cognitive development, and his clinical research in the USA is on the causes and the treatment of learning difficulties resulting in the development of what he's done now is called educational kinesiology and brain gym programs.
So is he going to be at your conference as well?
Yes, he is. It's a very exciting conference I'm sponsoring. We have a local celebrity, Jill Hewlett, who's going to be talking about how to turn your brain on, how the brain works, or how the brain best functions, optimal conditions, and tools for fostering healthy development and reaching our goals, whether that's in the classroom or the boardroom or the living room. And then there's going to be an Ask the Expert section, which is what Dr. Dennison is going to be doing. And he's just going to be back from an international teaching tour with a focus on reclaiming the pleasure of learning. So he's going to share his latest research, and then there's going to be the question and answer period.
All right. Well, Sharon Todd, thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sharon Todd is the organizer of the Dynamic Brain Experience. It's a workshop about this brain gym program that she described. It's going to take place on Thursday evening at the Glenway Country Club in Newmarket. And you can find out more by going to www.SharonToddConsulting.com. The tickets for that cost about $45. Now, coming up, from Pakenham to Pakistan, the story of one paramedic and a life-changing trip.